Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Apologies for missing last week's video. I was a little under the weather, so still not 100%, but good enough to get back to recording. So where we left off, we were landing on a new planetoid, and the problem with landing on a new planetoid is we have nothing. We have nothing to build with, we have nothing to do anything with. So I am going to try to tunnel out a little thing here and use the resources gained by digging this out to try and build a ladder to get down in here and seal this off behind me. Hopefully, Stinky does not run out of oxygen before we do this. He's already really low oxygen, so we'll have to kind of see what happens. There's definitely a possibility that he'll just die here, but we're going to do what we can do. I feel like maybe he needs to go down at least a level here. All right, maybe we need to stop digging so far down that he can't get into there at all. Who's scalding? Am I that worried about scalding right now? I think I'm more worried about this. All right, let's try to get a ladder built with the resources that we have. Hopefully it'll get to the point where we can at least take our suit off. Can we? All right, let's unequip the suit if we can. And then he has some oxygen left. He's getting oxygen, but it's venting out of this hole as well. So let's tile this off. I'm not that worried about this tile. Well, I really can't do that yet because I need the resources that are out in the wild. All right, let's get this ladder to go down here, and then we can kind of seal that all off. At least he has oxygen that's in here right now. We just kind of have to survive. Oh, don't build these yet. Ladder is more important. Although losing oxygen to space is not great. All right, I think that's enough to get him down into the planetoid. So, all right. Do not build that from the outside. All right, I need those chunks to fall down. All right, and that should stop the flow of air. Well, maybe not completely. I'm out of resources now. All right, let's dig out. Looks like this dirt. There's some igneous rock. Let's dig that out and use that to, there we go. Now we should be able to build that. That should seal us in. So now we're not losing oxygen, but we only have the oxygen that we have here. By the way, I don't know if there's anything we can do about the spaceship that's in orbit. I think it just kind of hangs there. Well, I'll try to send it back to the planet. There's no pilot, so I don't know if it'll actually work, but we could try, see what happens. All right, so he's trapped down here, which is actually a good thing. I don't think he needs to get anywhere. I am going to dig down here, get some more oxygen exposed. I'm going to try to kind of build out a little bit of a base here while we have somebody capable of doing it. We do have some water available and some food. The hexavalent or hexalent plant will give us plenty of food to deal with. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to enable auto harvest of that just to have something. All right, that should be a decent amount of resources to start. He's got food, he's got oxygen. It's not a long-term thing because we still don't have enough oxygen. This oxyfern, looks like we just need some carbon dioxide there. All right, we don't have any more igneous rock unless I start digging stuff out. I think we can dig this tile out and that'll get us down here. And then we can, I'm kind of weaving between the plants right now. Well, we can go that way, deconstruct that ladder. And then we should be able to just dig straight across here, tap into this oxygen. And that should at least get us somewhat up and running, give us some airflow, give us something to work with. And still be sealed off from the craziness. I will ultimately have to build like a rocket landing pad over here. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But I want to say this planetoid had the resources we were going to need. It looks like, yeah, gold volcano, aluminum volcano. We're definitely going to need that stuff. This says it's in flight. I don't know if it actually is or isn't, but we at least had the person we needed dropped off. So this is staying at a reasonable temperature now, 65 degrees. It's going up, but I'm hoping it'll max out somewhere close to what its temperature is here. Who is starving and why are you starving? There's plenty of food available, so that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, we have new printing pod. Take a look at what we got. I think I'm just gonna take the oxalite. I don't really want any other, or the Sweetle larva. The Sweetle could be good. Let's go ahead and take the Sweetle. I don't need it necessarily because I have Sweetles in both of my farms at the moment, but I guess it doesn't hurt to have something. I don't know if Sweetle works here. If it does, I suppose we can move there. Let's build a copy there, and we'll copy settings to there as well. Well, I think I have to wait for it to get built first. All right, let's let that do its thing. I forgot we got to build some toilets. So we are running out of oxygen too. Like very quick, surprisingly quick. This is emitting oxygen, it looks like. I'm glad we're tapping into here because that oxygen is not holding up at all. I am gonna have to mop this. I don't want it dripping into here and polluting the water, but we are gonna have to get something up and running. So I think part of the problem isn't even that like the oxygen is being consumed necessarily. It's just that we're digging out new blocks, and then those blocks have to be populated with something, and it's filling in with air that was only available from here. So I think that's really what's going on here. But all right, we also have to fix this whole situation. None of this is good. The steam is just way too much. We are going to have to build some insulated tiles and just kind of seal this whole thing off. Actually, I don't necessarily want to seal this off. I do want to open this up, and get the steam in here and start churning out some power utilizing that. So let's actually deconstruct probably here. I don't want too much of the water to pour out. I want just the steam to have somewhere to go. So we'll go ahead and start with that. That's a lot of steam though. It's almost 500 kilograms of steam. The minute I open this door to come down here and do that, it's gonna let a ton of steam out, which is quite unfortunate. We really do have to get the steam just out of here. This was definitely a bad design. I was hoping it would work, but it did not. So I'm just gonna deconstruct everything, and all these pipes I'm gonna deconstruct them as well. We definitely don't need any of that. Let's do gas pipes. We're just gonna deconstruct that. We're not gonna go all the way up there. Maybe I'll just leave it at here, because I think what we're gonna do is end up building like a steam generator right here directly underneath it, and then just have a very short run to get there. We lost way too much heat moving over here, so I think I am gonna kind of focus on just deconstructing all this nonsense. This was way too far to go. Let's look at the vent pipes. I don't want to deconstruct the wrong vent pipes, because I was almost deconstructing that, and I definitely don't want to do that. Okay, I think we're gonna stay up in this region, so let's go ahead and just deconstruct all that as well. And that way we could just have a short little jaunt over here and get that up and running. I'm gonna have to put some tile down, so go ahead and do that. And actually, let's do, for this specifically, let's get some insulated tile down over here, and we're just gonna generate a bunch of steam. I'm gonna put a ladder in here temporarily just to get up there dug out, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, they can focus on deconstructing all that stuff. I'm hoping this will all calm down at some point, and all this excess heat doesn't demolish us. The door is actually overheating. So that's not good. We actually can't even get down here right now to deconstruct any of this stuff. So I guess this kind of stays as it is for now. But hopefully the heat dissipates and then we can get back down there. Okay, let's go back to this planetoid. I keep forgetting that he's in a little predicament here, so let's focus on getting this resolved. We do have oxyfern kind of churning away, generating a little bit of oxygen, not a lot, but you know, a little bit. We got a couple of them going here. Well, this one's not going yet, but it will go. We have plenty of food available. The arbor trees, I probably should focus on harvesting them. I don't want to harvest all the hexalent fruit right now because I don't want it going. I don't know if it goes bad or not, but I don't want to run the risk of it going bad. So I don't want to just blanketly chop all of it down because it's going to take them a while to consume all of that anyway. Let's go ahead and start digging out like a habitat. I'm gonna that might go into space. See there, right there, there's like behind there. All right, let's start down here. Just start by digging this out. That'll give us a 4 high tile to work with, and then we can build a ladder down here. We can get a bed going. I think we could at least try to make his life a little bit better. He's gonna be miserable for a while, and there's really not much we can do about that, but maybe we can at least get an outhouse built so we can go to the bathroom regularly and get a bed up and running so he has somewhere to sleep. Throw a cot down. I think that'll be fine. All right. So let's let him do his thing and at least get that going. Yeah. There we go. That oxyfern's running as well a little bit. So hopefully that'll be able to generate some oxygen for him. His stress level is getting up there, though. If we look here, you can just see like a straight line going up. But there's really not much we can do about it. Let's go back to the star map. Okay, this says it's in flight, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if it ever magically shows up there. It hasn't moved any closer. It's just saying cycles are ticking down. So I guess let's just see what happens. Who is still getting scalded and how? Okay, so the heat is getting all the way up here, and that's what's leading them to get scalded. And that steam's breaking down back into water, and that's pouring back down here. So it looks like we lost an entire... Did we lose all our Sweetles down here? Looks like we did. I think they all got burned. There's a bunch of meat everywhere, so they must have gotten cooked. I'm a little worried about the heat over here, but so far they're holding up okay. Well, maybe not entirely okay. But we do have, at least on the plus side, we do have some of this cold water coming through and keeping the temperature down a little bit here. It's not really doing the same over here, but can we bridge the water? I feel like I might have tried this already, but if we bridge the water into here, will it just join this loop or will it make it go all wonky? I feel like we need water cycling in all these spots. They can't, I think, well, maybe they can get in there. I don't know. We got to do something to stop all this steam. It's pretty bad. I was kind of hoping this would have cooled down a lot by now, just by, you know, exposing to the elements over here. I wonder if I made this radiant pipe, if that would help. Some of it's really hot. I feel like there's not too much I can do here. I don't want to open this door because if people get injured and fall, I don't want them falling all the way down here. That's just going to make it even harder to recover them, and we're going to have duplicants dying. So I kind of feel like we just have to wait this out. Although waiting it out is going to be a difficult task. Why is breathability an issue over here? It shouldn't be. Are we not generating enough oxygen? Oh, this wasn't running. Okay. So this is backed up, so it wasn't running, which means oxygen was not being produced, which means oxygen was not pumping into the base. So we need more, either more electricity consumption to drain this quicker, or we need, I don't know, something else. Body temperature. Okay, so it's too cold over here, which is the opposite problem of what we have down here. We're also out of calories, which is not great. Stinky is making a mess. What's What's the blue? Uh-oh. So oxygen is becoming quite the issue here, unfortunately. Is there anything we can do to get oxygen up and running quickly? I don't think we have any algae over here, so we can't do anything with that. We have any rust? It's aluminum ore. We have dirt, and there's oxygen being produced from these plants, but clearly not enough. And I think one dupe is generating enough carbon dioxide to feed all these plants. Is there anything else we can do here? We could just keep going down. There is a little oxalate here we could tap into. Maybe we can tap into this as well. There's a small amount of oxygen in here. His stress is like overwhelming, so I mean, there is air. He's not completely without air, but something is definitely going on here. It's a little unfortunate. He's just like overly stressed, and we're just gonna have to wait it out. There's really nothing we can do about it right now. All right, stress vomiting, not great. He's kind of getting stuff everywhere. So we're probably gonna need to tap into this coal generator too, because we're gonna need to hook this up to a pump in order to generate oxygen. So let's try to kind of plan that out a little bit. Is there any rust anywhere in here? This is all aluminum ore, some salt, gold amalgam, some coal there. I'm a little nervous about burning coal, but then again, the carbon dioxide, the oxyfern could end up being a good thing there. It's not completely hopeless. All right, looks like we got some water kind of coming down with us here. We should be okay as long as we're going straight down. We're gonna let him do his thing. He may die. I hope not, but it is definitely a potential concern. Meep is definitely injured. He is gonna have to go to a triage cart. Looks like he's already tagged for that, so hopefully he will find his way over there. I feel like the heat's not going much beyond here. Like it is kind of capping out in this area, so is there anything we can do here to help bring this temperature down? I could potentially... It's still really hot here. We have a lot of this material, so let's do some radiant pipe here and just try to absorb some of that heat. See if we can get that down a little bit. I'd really like for them to make it down here so that we can utilize this heat rather than just have it kind of wasted and going across our whole base all the time. Let's go back to the other planet. I kind of have to keep an eye on this guy because it's a little rough for him. Where is he? He's eating. Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, he's clearly under a lot of stress, but all the shine bug's keeping him awake. Great. All right, well, he'll have to figure that out. Who has unreachable food? Everybody over here. So they're all gonna start starving to death really, really soon. Unless I solve that. And I can't really run any food over to them. That's a problem. I can't run any food over to them because this is down here in this like chaos zone. So for me to load up the conveyor is not gonna work too well. So we may be looking at the death of some dupes here. I'm gonna kill this Dreco and this Sweetle and just try to... Actually, let's not kill the Sweetle. Let's move the Sweetle. Let's get the Sweetle down here and get these plants growing quicker. Wrangle. All right, Quinn, you're definitely getting injured there. All right, did that radiant pipe actually get put in there? Yes. So it's probably not doing much, but it should at least start driving the temperature down here a little bit. Just try to reduce the temperature where I can. We got starvation going on, which is never... There we go, we got a little meat. That should handle some of the immediate food constraints here. We have a Sweetle down here, so hopefully this Sweetle will start rubbing up against these plants and making them grow a little quicker. I really just got to make it through another couple cycles here. So hopefully we'll be able to pull that off. These guys are just kind of sitting down here doing nothing. All right, is there anything we can do to heat up the air over here? This is staying nice and relatively cool with all these Wheezeworts put here. But I don't know how much we can do to warm up this space. Is there anything else we can do to generate more food? We have plenty of polluted water now, although the germ level is insane. I really do need to... Actually, you know what? That's a good way to burn some power, which should make this oxygen thing run more often. Really should get that wired back up. The tapidizer, we got to build it somewhere. Looks like I could fit it right there, and there's enough water in here now to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. This guy's back to stress vomiting, which is no fun, but there's not much we can do about it. He's just going to be stressed out for a while. All right, we did tap into this oxygen. Right, we're going to have to dig these out a little higher priority because that oxygen is not actually escaping there because of all this water and stuff. Let's mop some of that up as well, just to make sure that the oxygen is successfully leaving. There we go. Yeah, this is just a big mess here. I wish we could, well, I guess I could build a ladder to get down there and mop that up, but I do want to get all this stuff mopped up, at least while we still can. Try to keep the clean water separate from the polluted water. I don't know how long we'll be able to keep that up, but especially with all the stress vomiting, that's definitely problematic. All right, so there should be a fair amount of oxygen that is released from these oxalate nodes. So I think that buys us some time over here. Not to mention the oxygen we're producing from the oxyfern. Let's go ahead and enable auto harvesting of these mealwoods, just so that gets done. And I'm going to pause it just for a second, make sure we get these arbor trees auto harvested as well, because I have a feeling I'm going to have to build something that's going to generate some power over here. There we go. At least Sneaky's getting a little bit of rest. I'm sure the shine bug's going to pop up here and wake him up. It does look like our rocket made it back to base, so at least that works. I wasn't sure that was going to or not. Let's take a look at what we have for a blueprint. I think I'll just take more copper ore. I mean, eventually we'll get some dupes over here, but we're just not in a position to do that right now. We just have to kind of try to stabilize and try to get this this going okay over here. Plenty of food available for him though, so at least there's that. Speaking of food, not going so well over here. Sweetles, is he doing anything here? I don't know if they provide any benefit over here. It's only at 82%. I think we're gonna have to start killing these power guys, the slugs. I'll kill one just because there is a slug egg there, so there's a 1-to-1 replacement for that at the moment. And then we possibly could tap into here, and maybe we can get this guy taken out as well. A little puff prince action, because there's some here, and at least potentially that leaves something up and running. This tapidizer is getting power. Is it drawing too much power? I think it might be drawing too much power. All right, will this convert to meat? Yes, it does. Okay, so we have potentially some meat available. Let's check and make sure we have meat allowed on this planetoid for everyone, just so nobody starves because of me forgetting to check a box. It does look like meat is checked for everyone there. I'm going to check it for Stinky too on the other planetoid, just because right now the last thing we want to do is limit ourselves in any way. All right, so those calories are gone, and we are still in a situation where people are starving. So hopefully we can sneak into here and get this guy. That will hopefully give us enough food. It is some more meat. All right, so there is still one person starving. I really don't want to lose anybody, but I also can't kill every single animal because then I can't get it back. Unless I start heavily breeding them. So, what are we going to do here? Oh, there is a slug egg there. So it wouldn't be the end of the world to kill another plug slug, because we do have 2 slug eggs available then. Okay, so this should handle the immediate starvation issue. And then hopefully that tides us over until these plants grow 100%, and then we won't need to be killing insects anymore, or not insects, animals. So, and these bog buckets will be done as well. Hopefully over time the temperature starts kind of creeping up over here and we get more value out of this, because right now it is kind of limiting. Let's take a look at the power situation here. Yeah, it's just too much load on the circuit. How much does a tapidizer use? So the liquid pump is our current problem. Well, I can't afford to lose that pump, so we're gonna have to do something else here. Let's get another power transformer over here. We'll rotate this. Pop that down here. Actually come across here. It's going to be a while before this is built, so I'm not overly concerned about power kind of crossing streams here right now. I know it's going to give me an error, but I think we'll be okay. Once this is built, I'll disconnect. All right, deconstruct that wire, and that wire. There we go. Now this should all be copacetic once this gets up and running. That water is going to be super warm though, so I'm kind of hoping longer. Well, that will heat up this room, but it's going to bring this one up even warmer, and the 4 Wheezeworts are just barely keeping up. So I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how that goes. All right, so let's look at putting the pause in here for today. Looks like Stinky is breathing, but very stressed. He is not doing too great, but he has oxygen, and that is, you know, very important right now. This, I'm assuming, is another friend to defrost, so I don't necessarily want to tap into that right this second, but there is an outhouse now, so at least there's that. And it looks like we're in a position where he is, you know, I'm not going to say thriving, but surviving for sure. We do have meal lice available and growing. Oxyfern is starting to help keep up with the carbon dioxide. So our next focus on this planetoid, I believe, is going to be to try to get over here and get this coal generator and the batteries up and running. And that will leave us in a position to start generating some power to pump this. Once we could pump water, we could generate oxygen with the hydrolysis. And then our oxygen needs are kind of taken care of. We kind of build like a little oxygen generator. And I think that leaves us in a pretty good spot. I am just going to kind of map this out real quick and see what this looks like. So I think this would go over here, come up this way. Probably come over here. I don't want to dig any of these plants up right now. And we go here. Let's go ahead and just cancel that wire build there. And we can get a ladder. Feel like that can go over here for now. And then come down this way. We have another ladder come down this way. We can just kind of dig this all out. That'll get us over there. We could dig that out as well. Oh, looks like we might be able to just walk over here. So that should all be fine. All right, and then we'll get some carbon dioxide going, although it's going to sink instead of go over here where the oxyfern is. So we might have to reposition these at some point, but that's a problem for future us. But that should at least give us a roadmap for what we need to do. You know, just get those in place before this oxalate completely runs out, and then we have no new oxygen coming into our colony. Over here, it looks like we're in a pretty good spot. Once we get this power up and running, that should clean up a lot of these germs. Our bog buckets are at 95% and nobody's currently starving, so we should be good for the next food cycle without much of an issue. And then over here, it looks like we are, you know, still trying to battle this whole steam situation that I created. I really don't know what we're going to do to solve it. I don't know if I could easily vent any of this stuff. It's all backed up. All this water is kind of filling this. The good thing is with all this water here, it's creating like a little barricade where, you know, the temperature is lower than steam. So the temperature handoff is going to cause more of this steam to condense into water and kind of create this cascading loop. And also it's going to block any of the temperature from this extremely hot steam down here from coming up. It's still going to transfer a little through this manual airlock, but it's going to keep the bulk of it from really jutting up right away. But I do kind of have to, you know, this magma is super hot, so I do have to kind of, you know, cap this off if I want to stop this steam from being generated over and over and over again. So what I might have to do, and I think this is what I'll focus on in the next episode, is get a dock over here set up with oxygen and suits and everything, and then rebuild this ladder, and that gives us a way to go down while fully suited up, so we're not burning ourselves on all the steam. So gives us some ideas for next time. Thank you for watching. If you like the episode, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future, and we will catch you in the next one.